Buongiorno. From our home in Sicily, we're going to go down to Modica, to breathtaking Baroque churches, and even one dating back to the 1100s during the Norman times. Then we're going to sample some chocolates, some very interesting flavors, and then we've just been so lucky and stumbling into these cultural events all over Sicily, so we have highlights. And then, of course, what did we have to eat? Some shots, food shots in every video. Let's go to Modica. We're going to go up to St. George in the upper part of town. Today's April 23rd, and I swear I didn't plan this, but we're here for St. George, the patron saint of Modica. And unfortunately, because of the passing of the Pope, they're not going to have it today. They're going to wait until next week. But when you come up here, make sure you go down here for this unbelievable view. There he is, St. George.
Wood is dated back to 5 centuries ago. Alright? It's a nativity, but it's much more. In the lower part, we have the nativity. You see, we have the baby, Jesus. We have Virgin Mary, we have Saint Joseph, we have the bull and the donkey, okay? We have some other characters. In this, the big falls.
You know, it's important to note about Modica that what you're looking at is a late Baroque, Sicilian Baroque style that was built after that 1693 earthquake that devastated much of the East Coast. So you saw a lot of that also in Ragusa, in Noto, and other towns in the Val del Noto. Beautiful Baroque architecture that was built when the Spanish were here. This is our guide here in Modica, Attilio. You've actually probably already seen him because we did something with him in Ragusa as well.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. And we are by the side of St. George's Church, and as well where we have the celebration of this special event with a special fruit, which is the cedro.
I call it the ugly lemon. I know it's called the cedro, but I call it the ugly lemon.
So now,
these are small.
Small
by us.
big ones as
yeah,
well, no?
big ones.
So the point is this: they look like lemons, but they are cedri. In English is citron, and in Hebrew is etrog. This fruit was and still today used during a special ceremony, Jewish ceremony, which is known as the Sukkot. When the ceremony or the procession,
Passover.
yeah, the man is holding on his left hand is holding a perfect etrog, on the other one a mix of 3 different types of branches, which is a very important celebration of the Jewish tradition. And this probably is something which is connecting that historical moment with the celebration of St. George's. A tradition during the celebration of this saint to have slices of cedri together with the salt, or to make salad.
It looks like some cinnamon in there too.
As well.
So that's what you eat here for St. George. If you thought this church was beautiful, wait until you see the next one, which is inside a cave. It wasn't discovered until 1980 when a group of kids were playing football, soccer, and the ball fell into the cave, and they discovered these incredible frescoes dating back to the 1100s. If you get off the main streets, Modica is filled with these kind of archways and little roads and squares like this. Usually there's no school, kids are playing soccer here. But now we're going to go into the San Nicolo Inferiore from the 12th century. And it's a church inside of a cave. After the earthquake of 1693, they couldn't afford to keep it anymore, and so these people up there bought it. But we know it's a church because of those pillars right there and the way that's constructed. How funny is that? And guess how they figured out this was a church? The kids were playing soccer right here, and the ball went inside, and they discovered the cave.
This was the altar. Let's go on the ceiling, you see up there. Very, very simple, very cool. Peter. Originally, this church we have now by the side, which is the patron saint for the lower part, was not here, was in the upper part.
Depicted in the fresco is Jesus Christ Pantocrator, the Virgin Mary, a monk, Saint Vitus, same one as Saint Vito Lo Capo, Saint Peter, Saint Michael Archangel, who's my favorite, and Saint Elios, who's actually a French saint that was very popular under the Norman domination.
Orthodox style. This is the subsellium, this was the Presbyterian area. Here there was a sort of wall, and here we have the devotees, and there the priest, okay, for celebration.
And without a doubt, this was built in the 1100 during the Norman domination of Sicily. Can you imagine? Kids were just playing soccer. They found this cave in the 80s, and I'm talking 1980s. That is crazy. This area is known for scacce, this type of street food with all types of filling. That's spinach and ricotta. This one has potato, sausage, and carrots. And then this one has the eggplant.
And this one is spinach.
And here's the arancini. Here they wrote focaccia, and the guy's telling me that the reason is because most people would understand focaccia better than scaccia. Look at the arancinis over there, and it's got some really good desserts. Modica is separated in two ways: Modica Alto, which you're looking at over there, and Modica Basso down here. Behold the majestic St. Peter, built, of course, like everything else after the earthquake. And this was not the original site. The original Church of St. Peter was located elsewhere in town. Glorious statues of the apostles. "400 people can sit in this beautiful, beautiful church."
The statue representing a special moment when St. Peter is asking God's help to do this miracle. The miracle was the lame miracle. The lame came and asked him about a tip, but he told him and answered, "I have no money, I have no gold, I give whatever I have, so stand up and walk." That's why the two statues are representing St. Peter holding keys and the book on his left hand, and the right hand is asking divine help. And then the lame is represented right when he is getting rid of the stick and standing on his legs. This is why he is represented this way.
Christians around the world are mourning Pope Francis passing. The original people of Modica, just like in Sicily, lived in little caves. You can see some of them up there. And then obviously, with modern times, the modern homes were built. Now you may think, what? They lived in caves? Yes, they lived in caves and was cool in there. And all they did really was sleep, because Back then, you know, what was a house? A house was a place to sleep. They ate outside, cooked outside, and so it was normal for them. Some set of stairs. These stairs right here lead up top and to the what was once the Jewish headquarters, because until 1492 the Jews lived here. And then Isabella, Spanish queen, told everyone to either convert or get out of town. Here's San Pietro. When you come here to Modica Bassa, lots of shops, all types of ceramics and knickknacks. But of course, we're gonna go to a chocolate shop. And Frank here is his grandfather and grandmother left here. And what was the last name? Alessi and? Rando.
And we have to look for the Sicilian roots in Modica, alright? Modica, which is a prehistorical town. Sicily used to live here before the Greek colonization. And then the Romans and the Muslims and the Spaniards and whatever. Well, we are by the side of the St. George's Church, which was rebuilt after this terrific earthquake we had in 1693. And now, this is the capital of the Baroque district. The southeast.
Your grandfather was born in the capital of the Baroque district. And he was baptized in this church too. Special place.
Patron saint for the other services. So your grandfather used to live here all around. And
Yeah.
it was brought up here. It was brought up here.
These are the stories I love when people come and visit their ancestral home and you're walking on the streets your grandfather and grandmother walked on. How does it feel?
Different. It's like I belong here.
Maybe certainly your grandfather was walking all around here at the church. This is what we're doing too today.
Probably he liked a party.
Yeah, the same steps.
Are you enjoying this video and you want to see more like this? Please consider supporting us on this channel by becoming a community member. For $1.99 a month or $2.99 a month, you just help this channel and you hit the join over there down below somewhere. You join the community and you become a member. And thank you for those of you guys who are already community members. And for those who are not, we look forward to having you. So you cannot come to Modica and not talk about chocolate.
So Modica is famous because of the double C. Churches and chocolate. There are people coming for the churches and others coming for chocolate. But this is an old story which was started with the Spaniards about 3 or 4 centuries ago, when cocoa beans were introduced by the Spaniards. Sicily was part of the Spanish Empire in Europe and in Sicily. This is when cocoa beans became European chocolate. So we have the Belgian chocolate, we have the Austrian chocolate, we have the British chocolate, we have the Italian chocolate, we have the Sicilian chocolate as well. And the characteristic is that it's milk-free but seasoned with the flavors. Originally cinnamon, vanilla, chili. Now more than 30 different types, including jasmine.
My favorite is Nero de Avola.
I agree. local wine as well, okay? But also marsala, but also orange zest.
Oh, I saw the chocolate with the marsala. That's good too. Love this flavors. Hot pepper flakes. This is chocolate, salt, vanilla. What's this? Ooh, fig. And where's the one with the Nero de Avola?
Chocolate, they melt everything together. That is a big difference, okay? Instead, into our chocolate, you will feel that it's grainy, it's crunchy, it's pretty peculiar because the sugar doesn't melt, okay? As you can see, it's pretty thick, and we don't add any liquids.
All right, so I have to be honest. I've already busted into this and had a little piece, but I wanted to show you what it looks like because it is something very different. This is what the pieces look like. See how it's a little bit granule? and it comes into cubes like this. And when you have it, you have like other cubes. And you heard the girl say that you can take one of them, or Attilio said you take a block and you put it in hot water, hot milk, and enjoy it. Guess what I like to do? I like to dunk it in my coffee because it really adds, or actually sometimes I shave a little bit in there. Also on my cappuccino, so good because it adds a little bit of a kick to it.
Sicilian chocolate is milk-free. That's why you can have it all year long. In summer, as a snack, as a wafer. And in winter, a section of this bar is enough to prepare a hot chocolate. And you can use hot water or hot milk. So, in summer or whenever you want, you can have a snack of chocolate. In winter, you prepare it at home, or even now in a bar, obviously, to have a hot drink.
And it became for the Spanish a little bit like the British have their tea. Here the Spanish had
Let's say that tea or coffee were important to wake you up. All right, if you had to work hard, if you had to do something, you had a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. But if you want to relax, if you want to stroll your soul, okay, you have a cup of chocolate.
awesome. Look at the girls. They get all these chocolates. Because this is from your ancestral hometown, huh? How do you feel being here?
Yes.
Your dad was really overcome. How are you guys feeling?
It's emotional.
It's where your grandfather, your great-grandfather.
Yeah, good.
Yep. And you guys were in the church where he was baptized.
That was true. Yeah.
The last thing to do is the shaking part. If I lift this like this, it will become cold like this. That's why. Okay.
Oh,
You
that
started.
smell.
You started to understand why.
Wow, that is awesome.
Is it? Okay, she's got all of that.
Here we go. Pasta alla norma. That's a risotto with the mushrooms. And there's my calamari. I love to see that Sicilian culture is being kept alive in small little town here in Sicily. We are in Valverde. This is such a catchy song. Bravi! All handmade. This is one of the most important Sicilian cultural treasures for sure. All right, well, that was pretty much it. Alfred will be back in town next week. I'll be in Giardini Naxos for a week, so who who knows what we're going to bring you next week, but for sure it's going to be something great from Sicily. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for being our supporter and joining us here on Yumi and Sicily, whether you're watching live or after the post. Thank you. We appreciate it. We love our community. Have a great day. Buona domenica and Alfio. I'm waiting for you back here in Sicily. It's so good with the chocolate.